both sides? Like, could I record it on my
Yeah,
side?
you're going to be able to.
Oh,
So
I
we're
see.
live. Yeah.
Yeah, you got control as well. All right.
Cool. So we're now live again. Sorry, my phone call. The previous interview we had, I got a phone call, a real estate transaction. So we reconvened, and look, I got a new shirt. I got my SC shirt on.
I don't have one yet, just because
I
just
was telling
barely
him they
started.
better give it. So how much does your program cost? Because it was 120 grand for me. How much are you dropping?
So it's basically for tuition alone, it's $50K a year, so about 150K.
Wow, they inflated it 30 more grand just on tuition.
Hey, the good thing is, as you get older, you obviously get richer. So whatever the price increase is, it's like,
but dude, you're
it's
gonna
not.
you gotta be careful though. Are you getting scholarships, or are you just gonna get student loans?
No, so I haven't applied for scholarship. I mean, is it even a good idea to apply for scholarships?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, if you can, I would, just because you might qualify as a minority, Filipino. Like I would, just because. I mean, it's 150 grand. Do you really want to be 150 grand in debt?
Right. No, I mean, like, I always figured that once you start going for the higher degrees, that they're not as, especially if you have like an established career, that they're not as like, generous with the money they're giving.
Man, they're gonna nickel and dime you. So obviously, like, it's not gonna just be 150 grand. There's gonna be other stuff. So whatever you can do. Let's just say you get one scholarship that's like 20 grand. I mean, you just saved yourself 20 grand. And remember, if you want to pay 150 grand back, that's 150 grand after taxes. A lot of people don't realize,
right.
So
no,
do whatever you can do, because
I definitely get that. But you know what though? I just looked up the interest rates for like student loans. They are dirt cheap. Like you could get student rates as low as like 1% if it's variable.
Okay, so how long is it fixed then?
Oh, no. So that's for the variable, it's 1%. For the fix, if you're using like a private loan, it's 3%. And if you're using like, the Stanford or, the government loans, it's going to be around 4%.
Okay.
What was it back then?
Dude, it was worse. It was like 7 to 9%. It was really bad. It was a scam. I called it a scam back then. I got in trouble because, I was like, oh, your MBA, SC, all blah, 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 blah. I was always like, look, dude, student loans is modern slavery. And my uncle hits me up and he's like, yo, because like I didn't realize that like my cousins are watching some of my content. And they're like, I heard that like your degree was like a ripoff. And I'm like, wait, like I didn't say that. I said if you had to like pay, 9% interest, which I didn't. I didn't take out any student loans.
Yeah.
And there's some other things they took out of context. But yeah, just be careful with student debt, because it's like it's not tax deductible, which is BS.
No, yeah, I know. Well, yeah, they changed it now. I'm waiting for Daddy Biden to give me money if that's possible.
Yeah, actually, if there's a time to have student loans, it's now. What if they hit you with the forgiveness too? Like, hey, forgiveness. But it's a way better deal now, because so you're saying if you do decide to like get into debt, it's going to be under 4% most likely.
Yeah,
it's not.
Look, what's 1% of $150,000? It's $1,500 a year. If that's the interest, I mean, I could easily cover that and just keep compounding.
No, but it compounds. It compounds, and it's not like you're going to pay $150,000.
No, but it's compounding at that $1,500, right? That 1%. That's all it's compounding at. Unless like,
I thought it's more though, because it's 1% plus like a 4%, right? It's not a 1% only.
Wait,
right?
Are you talking about like paying down the principal as you go? Is that what you mean by 4%?
Higher debt. Because so like if you're 150 grand in debt, they're not charging 4% interest, right, on that 150 grand, are they?
Well, so they'll charge you, I think, as they disperse it. So like in the first year, they'll disperse like whatever 50,000, and it'll start racking 1% off that 50K. And then the next 100,000, it'll be 1%. Like, isn't it as it's this? I mean, that's how it was when at UCLA when I took out student loans.
Okay. Oh, so you got the student loans at UCLA that you got to pay off too, right?
Oh, I mean, they're basically minimal. Like I basically just used it for personal. I got a full ride at UCLA, so I was completely
good
free.
For you, man. Yeah, if you got a full ride at UCLA, why wouldn't you be able to hustle and get a full ride at SC?
I think it's a little different once because back then I was probably dirt poor. Like my family was dirt poor. about 10 years ago, but now we're all like pretty well off. Like it's not. I don't think I would qualify now as like.
Okay.
You know,
I think your tax returns are a little too big.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm gonna try, but like when I looked at the scholarship, the scholarship things at USC, their website, I didn't see like that many big scholarships. You know, like you said 20,000. I couldn't find anything that said 20,000.
So
And
what if you do what I did? Instead of taking student loans, what you do is you take student loans for your first year, and then with your elective classes, you just start to take, instead of, because I believe they're charging you the 50,000 if you take like four or five classes. I don't know how it works, but if you take less classes, then you don't have to pay as much, and then you can actually not take out student loans. You just I think I was paying
just trying to extend it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was paying like 25 grand a semester, so I was paying as I go or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I just want to like whatever is the regular time.
Yeah, first you get in. Don't worry about
it. I'll just get it because honestly, the money isn't in it. Like right now, I have 100K in the bank. I could pay off the majority of it and just take off.
Let's ask you this: why do you have 100K in the bank when we have the best bull market ever? Right now, cryptos are killing it, stocks are killing it. Why are you holding cash?
Well, you know, like the thing is, yeah, I lost out on a lot, but you know, I'm always a little scared, right? I always want a little bit of liquidity, especially when we're at market highs.
Okay,
and,
so this is the best advice I wish someone gave me. Is you've never done then a margin loan, right? Like if you went and bought right now $100,000 of Apple, you know that you can get a loan at 2.5%, which is tax deductible.
Right. So M1 Finance does that. Interactive brokers will do that for 1%. Like I know all that, but the problem is,
why have you not done that, young Padawan? Why have you not done it?
Majority of my money are in retirement accounts, whether it's 401k, IRA, Roth IRA. That's the majority of all my.
Why not personal? Yeah, but that 100 grand of cash, like why don't you have like 50 grand of stocks, 50 grand of cash? And then if you
right. So some is like actual cash, like, you know, like a typical checkings, like the majority of that is in a typical checkings account, where it's earning.
Why have money in a checking account? Isn't it kind of a ripoff?
So before so I created this account in Fidelity, right? Money market funds used to yield like at least 1.5, maybe 2% before. No longer the case, but at this point, like.
Have you heard of Blockify?
I've heard of it, but you know, I just don't trust anything crypto related.
You get 8% of your US dollars. Blockify people to buy.
Hold on, you're breaking up. What did you say again?
So you get 8.6% if you want to hold US dollars in Blockify.
Right. No, I've done the research on it. I've read about it.
And, why haven't you pulled the trigger? You're an MBA. You love to do research, but you don't pull the trigger.
No. Yeah. So, you know, I like to be informed, but I don't like to like gamble on things.
What if I told you? I already have over 200 grand in Blockify. They've paid me. I've never had any. Like I already took that risk, bro. I already have.
No. I know. I'm well aware. A lot of people are taking that risk. A lot of people are telling me to go for it. But when people are giving off that kind of a rate, like basically market return rates, and it's using like a type of investment asset that hasn't been around for a while, I get a little hesitant. You know, I'm very.
The way I got into Bitcoin, no, I was the same way with you in 2017. Bitcoin was a risky asset, so the way I started was like, you know what? I'm not going to put 10% of my portfolio into Bitcoin, but let's start with 1%. So if you have $100,000 of cash, shouldn't you at least put in $1,000 to see how it works?
You know, someone has made that argument, and I saw an interview by Mark Cuban where he said, you know, I don't think Bitcoin has any intrinsic value, but I guess I'll drop a little bit of money on it. And
That's
I understand.
Exactly what I did.
No, I understand, like, you know, taking risks and stuff like
that.
I
have a Blockify. I don't know if you've seen my TikTok, but I have like 250 grand in Blockify. But what's funny is I actually invested about 25 grand 3-4 years ago in 2017, and that's like the returns I got in crypto because I did the 1%. The 25 grand I invested in crypto was really, at first I put in maybe like $2,000 into crypto, right? And it was less than 1%. But I just got more comfortable, and I'm like, all right, like this is working, and then you know what I mean. And so obviously that's what I try to tell all my followers, and it's so hard. I feel like a lot of my followers are just like you, where And that's why I do the buy the $10. I don't know if you've seen my TikToks. I'm like, buy $10 of Apple, buy $10
Right.
of Bitcoin, right?
No, I've seen that recently. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
yeah, I mean, okay, so the way I think of it is that, like, if you're going to gamble once, you're going to want to gamble again. So setting up like a good kind of habit, you know, there's a Buffett quote, right? You know, it's something like something about habit. I can't remember it verbatim though. So I can't quote it, unfortunately, but I'll paraphrase. It's basically, you should be careful about how you build your habits because they're harder to break once you have them. You know, it's too light to be felt until it's too heavy to be broken. Sorry? Hey, I think it broke. The line broke again. I don't see anything.
One more time.
Hey, are you there?
Yeah, it's just okay. So what's cool is I'm gonna hit the Wi-Fi so that this won't happen. I'm about to park, but anyways, I heard the Buffett thing. But to be honest, if I were like you and I did that Buffett thing, I would have never invested that $25,000 into crypto, and I wouldn't have 250 grand.
No.
Stuck to real estate because I have.
Yeah, that's a fair statement. I know the returns on Bitcoin like have been astronomical since like 2012. You know, it's basically over 10 years old already, and it's done extremely well.
$20,000, and I had put it, you know, into Bitcoin. Well, it would be like $32 million.
No,
I don't know if I want the MBA if it's $32 million. You know.
And all you did was buy,
and then
like.
I started it, and hey, hold on, this is what's more ridiculous. If I did it in 2011, it would have been $376 million. If I did it in 2011, the 120 grand.
Yeah, hindsight is always the biggest thing, right? Everyone knows best.
YOLO Bitcoin, never sell, baby. That's all I gotta say.
No, and that's fair. Dude, you made a lot of money. You know, I actually, instead of going through the 401k IRA crap, if I had done real estate, I would probably be worth maybe two and a half times more than what I am right now. So
yeah.
Real estate is really good because it's levered, right? And if prices are going up, it doesn't really matter if that shit doesn't cash flow. You're making money. You're making bank because of the leverage, and whatever the price appreciation is, multiply that by how levered you are, which is usually 4x if it's a 20% down, or 3x if you have like a commercial property or whatever.
Yeah, no, I agree. The leverage is what makes real estate best. And that